I remember like crying after that Thomas Müller goal, but then once Drogba hit the goal, I was like, it was devastating, man.
Spurs fans, and people get surprised कि Spurs के इतने fans हैं, right? But what about Bayern? Bayern are a huge club, like globally. तो आपके कितने supporters हैं in Mumbai, in Delhi, and across India?
If I am upset, बुरा लगता है, but 10 लोग साथ में upset हो तो अच्छा लगता है.
I mean, the scorelines itself define that, yeah, we play the Bayern way. With the goals galore.
My parents just told me, you support Bayern for so long, do you want to go and visit the stadium? I said, yeah, it sounds cool, I'd really like to do it.
So we had sort of decided कि हम तो तेरे आशिक है सदियों पुराने, चाहे तू साने, चाहे तू माने.
They could have had an all Marathi trio, Sane Mane Kane.
Obviously, we are a bit more underappreciated as compared to other clubs like in Premier Leagues or like in your La Liga. People like, yeah, COVID है, ऐसे जीत गए, हम तो सब सारे clubs तो बंद थे. People usually say that.
I think all the youngsters should go back and watch videos of Schweinsteiger. Back then, we used to call him the illusionist.
Wherein if you watch the Bundesliga actually, we struggle with teams like Union Berlin and especially the bogey team like Mönchengladbach. We lose, every time we play against them, we feel like अभी हारने वाले हैं.
Ciao ciao दोस्तों. This is episode 5 of Cappuccino Pe Charcha. जब मैं ये episode script कर रहा था तो टाइटल दिमाग में आया जर्मन रॉयल्टी मीट्स इंडियन तड़का. एंड दिस इज नॉट रिटन बाय एआई. दिस इज रिटन बाय AI but Ajay Intelligence. I'm your co-host for this episode. I'm Ajay Menon and I have Chintan Mehta with me, my co-host.
अजय, royalty word बहुत loosely use किया जाता है. And you said German royalty. I think not just German. This club we are talking about is German royalty plus European royalty. The club which has won 6 European titles. They're sitting third most successful club in Europe. Yes, we are talking about none other than Bayern Munich. And today we have 2 special guests. 2 guys who support this amazing club. They are a part of Bavarian Army Mumbai. And we have with us today Raj and Athang. Welcome, guys.
Welcome guys. Welcome to the show.
Let's ask you the first question immediately. First of all, thank you for being here with us. You know, आप लोग बहुत बाहर आते नहीं हो. But we needed you guys to come here because, as I said, European royalty है. Bayern Munich is probably one of the most decorated club in the world right now. And they've not spoken about a lot.
This is the biptia in the room, not the elephant. It's the biptia. Since we are in Mumbai, leopards are. But you're right, Chintan. मतलब हम लोग सेरिया करते रहते हैं. सेरिया के बारे में वैसे भी चर्चा नहीं होता है. But आप लोग Bayern are one of the most successful clubs, like Chintan mentioned, in the world. So why do you think there is a lack of PR? What's the reason?
I think one of the main reasons that why that happens is because like we don't sell superstars or we don't like build superstars. We have a team. Like we have built our philosophy around a team. Like it's a bunch of 11 players who are playing around to win the game, not just to win individual awards. That is I think one of the reasons why players like Lewandowski decided to move to Barcelona because they had better PR. But unfortunately, he did not get the winning rhythm with them as well as he did in Munich. So I think that is one of the reasons why we don't sort of have the PR because we don't have a superstar built inside a team.
I would like to disagree. Yeah, come on, those guys are playing, they represent the German national team and Germany is again one of the most successful national teams in the world. So yeah, you're right. I think what you said more or less, you guys concentrate more on winning as a team, not on individual. But my question to Athang is, ये सिर्फ Bayern का problem नहीं है. Do you think this problem is engulfed by the whole Bundesliga in general? कि Bundesliga को general PR नहीं दिया जाता है जितना दूसरे leagues को दिया जाता है.
What I feel is that it's just because Bayern is consistent and they have like a winning streak every season. So people are like more into. They feel that competitiveness is only in like Premier League, but what I feel is that it's not like that. You all should watch Bundesliga games, then you will actually understand that how good is Bundesliga. The fan culture, it's amazing. They have ultras there. So ultras scene in the entire Bundesliga is totally different. So people should like keep on, give it a try. Once you give it a try, you'll understand. Of course, Bayern has been a dominant force, but even Leverkusen won the Bundesliga. So, you should give it a chance.
So, boys, how did you all start your fan journey? I'll start with you, Raj, and then Athang. कोई ऐसा कोई particular game था या एक player था या एक मैनेजर था जिसके कारण आप बायर्न म्यूनिख के फैंस बने. What's your story? Please do share.
Okay, so for me, it was the 2012 Champions League final. It was a home Champions League final against Chelsea.
Chelsea,
And to be very frank, I had just been there out with friends. I was just watching a football match. I used to be a cricket fan before. Like, मैं बहुत पहले cricket देखता था. But then I was starting to move that rhythm to football now, like basically getting a shift. And वहाँ पे I watched Bayern Munich for the very first time. And I instantly fell in love with the team, the way they were playing, like the players and everyone. It was magical basically. And I really fell in love with that. But it was very unfortunate कि हम वो match हारे at the home stadium. I remember like crying after that Thomas Müller goal. But then once Drogba hit the goal, I was like, it was devastating, man.
चेक पे गुस्सा आया होगा.
Yeah, बहुत ज़्यादा.
I think he had a numerous saves. I think Czech was the man of the match. I think for
It was
Chelsea.
the home, like it was the home of Bayern Munich, and you're losing out there, and also a header.
By the way, Chintan, तुझे पता है कि which was the first team who lost a Champions League final at their own home?
Bayern Munich. Roma. Oh yes. I think against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oh yes. दुख sorry अजय के साथ और सेरिया फैंस के साथ दुख दर्द पीड़ा.
Story of a life.
Yes. Adhan, यार any moment that you became a Bayern fan? कुछ
For me, it was the Arjen Robben goal, the very next season in the finals, Champions League finals.
Oh, against Dortmund that also.
Against
Oh,
Dortmund, yeah. That goal was amazing, and it was like my first ever game which I had watched live on television. So for me, that goal, that's when I started like actually following Bayern Munich with Arjen Robben and Ribery. The Ribery, that duo was, according to me, it was the best duo in the world. Yeah.
Wow. And of course, fans बने Bayern के. Bavarian Army Mumbai. ये कैसे बना? How did you, first of all, I'll give you my example. And of course, I'm talking on Ajay's behalf also. When I became a Milan fan, he became a Roma fan. हम लोग को लगा हम अकेले हैं इंडिया में.
और कोई नहीं है.
हाँ, because EPL domination of course ज़्यादा है. And मुझे तो नहीं लगा था कोई दूसरा मिलान fan इंडिया में होगा. Forget Mumbai. So how did you guys get to know about each other और ये आपने एक group community बनाया कैसे?
So I think back in the day when I was like just getting out of my 10th, I used to use a Facebook. Facebook का ज़माना था वो टाइम पे. Like जो चीज़ तुमको चाहिए Facebook को ढूंढो, तुमको लोग मिल जाएंगे. So I just typed on Facebook कि यार Bayern India का ऐसा कुछ है क्या, fan club है क्या? So तभी मुझे मालूम पड़ा कि Bayern India fan club है, but it's based out of Delhi. Like official group है, but it's based out of Delhi. So I put in a request. I got approved like 2 years later. I became a part of it. It took me 2 years to be added to the WhatsApp group. And then उसके बाद the journey started slowly. Like discussions होते थे. फिर कभी-कभी हम लोग मिलते थे. And then in 2018, that's when we actually started the Bavarian Army Mumbai fan club. So it's one of the it's part of the Bayern India fan club. Yeah.
So कितने सारे fans हैं in Mumbai? Like just to give a number, because a lot of people like Chintan mentioned, अब Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool तो United as well. They have fans, but when Spurs fans, and people get surprised कि Spurs के इतने fans हैं, right? But what about Bayern? Bayern are a huge club, like globally. तो आपके कितने supporters हैं in Mumbai, in Delhi, and across India?
So Mumbai in itself, we have like over 200 plus supporters just in a WhatsApp group.
Wow.
And people like whenever we go for like screenings and all, they're like, please add me in this. I'm like, we have to make a different group now because we can't add any more people right now. So we make a different group. Yeah.
That is insane. First of all, amazing. And I'm telling you, I'm very happy to hear this because I'll be very honest. हम लोग podcast करते हैं, हम लोग बाहर जाते हैं, सुनते हैं. We don't usually come across a lot of Bayern fans. मतलब my school friend is sitting here. He's a big Bayern fan and उसको भी वही लग रहा था कि in 2006 he's the only Bayern fan in India. General consensus वही रहता है, but it's amazing to know that you have so many fans. So tell us about your first screening. Like आपने जब first screening किया था organize. Of course, it's like you are strangers and then you meet and then you become like brothers, right? Because you support the same club. एक emotions होता है. So tell us about that. How did that happen? How did you guys manage to pull it off?
So I think just in terms of how we first met, so there was an event like it was organized by Star Sports India back in the day. I think it was back in 2018, 2019. So they were doing a show wherein which they wanted Bayern fan club to sort of be there and represent. Wherein that brought in a legend called Lothar Matthäus. I think all the Inter Milan fans.
Fans,
I think
of course.
They'll definitely know him.
Ballon d'Or winner again doesn't get a lot of credit.
I feel for me, low-key one of the best CDMs the world has.
In the world.
I agree. So we basically went there on that show. We saw him live, like we talked to him, interacted with him, and it was like a sort of a interactive fan meet session as well, wherein we directly interacted with the legend. So it was very, very nice to meet all the fellow Bayern fans and a fellow Bayern legend as well in that case.
So I heard मैंने सुना था आपने 2022 या 21 में अक्टूबर फेस्ट जैसा कुछ ऑर्गेनाइज किया था. Tell us something about that, please.
So in that Oktoberfest basically मुंबई में ऑर्गेनाइज किया था जहाँ पे basically जितने भी Bundesliga fan clubs they were all of them were invited. Like we had fans from Dortmund as like Borussia Dortmund Mumbai fan club was there, then Bavarian Army Mumbai fan club was there, and then some other Bundesliga affiliations were also there. And over there we had this German legend Klaus Augenthaler. German and Bayern legend, of course. So we had met him over there as well. It was a nice wherein we also played against him. Wow. We got the chance to play against him. It was magical. And basically the entire Oktoberfest setting was like you could have beer, like German food, pretzel, sub available tha.
But guys, probably this is the first time you're hearing this, and that also on Cappuccino Pe Charcha. Because I'm telling you, I have not heard of this before, and this is absolutely brilliant because a club like Bayern deserves representation in a country which is football crazy, I can call it. Adang, I think you are the youngest amongst all.
Of course,
you can say
like
now
football
the narrative change हो रहा है.
Yes,
cricket से football.
It's totally changing. Of course, like the Indian football thing is not going out well, but when it comes to European football, it's totally different. There are too many fans in India, and they just love to be part of these fan clubs as well. So yeah, it's going great.
अजय एक अपनापन होता है फैन क्लब में, like you meet your fellow fans. दुख दर्द पीड़ा भी साथ में होती है. मतलब if I am upset, बुरा लगता है, but 10 लोग साथ में अपसेट हो तो अच्छा लगता है कि भाई मैं नहीं 10 लोग और अपसेट हो गए.
But to be fair, Chintan, Bayern fans have good times, man. I mean, इतना दुख दर्द पीड़ा नहीं रहा उनके लाइफ.
They don't win the league one season, they're upset.
Yes.
Ajay would not do that because बोलते हैं the ultimate bridesmaid.
Ultimate bridesmaid. And before we go ahead, please don't bring up that 7-1. I already had one 7-1 on this series. Don't want the second 7-1.
Yeah, but if you talk about 7-1, or let's not talk about 7-1, but I'm just very intrigued that when Bayern plays a club, or any club, be it an English club, Spanish club, Italian club, आपके score lines बहुत ही deadly होते हैं. मतलब I think you have the record for probably scoring 8 goals twice or something. Yeah. Like, as a club, as fans, when you play against a Barca, against Spurs, I think you guys scored a lot against Spurs, against Roma.
Against Mourinho, yeah.
So, when you as fans looking at that, तुम लोग का club का, is the approach the same when you play against any team? Bayern plays the Bayern way, or do you guys think that there's a tweak, against certain clubs? Or no, Bayern plays just one way?
I mean, the scorelines itself define that, yeah, we play the Bayern way. With the goals galore, like scoring 8-2, 7-2. But it's not just like domination. It's for us, it's like we play as a team. We don't have one player, which is also the German theory, like not having one single superstar, but playing as a team. And that's the reason I feel like so many goals are going there.
Guys, we have 2 Bayern fans with us, and one of them has traveled to the stadium to watch the game. We have Aniket and Neeral with us. Aniket, I'll start with you. First of all, tell us how young you were when you went to the stadium, and tell us your experience, please.
Yeah, so this was after my 10th board exams, and it just came up that do you want to, like, I had been a fan for like 4 years at that point, and my parents just told me, you support Bayern for so long, do you want to go and visit the stadium? I said, yeah, it sounds cool, I'd really like to do it. And I just assumed that they will accompany me. They just told me that it's probably going to be by yourself. And I thought they were just joking. But around Feb time, they're like, your tickets are booked, huh? And you're going alone. And that's when it kind of hit me. But I would say to anyone, if you are a fan of a team and you'll not regret it. And like going alone, I think it helped me grow as a person and like exploring all the city in general, Munich, but also like Bayern related stuff. I had a chance to go to the Allianz, watch a couple of games, also went for a stadium tour, and also saw the old stadium, the Olympiastadion, where we used to play our games earlier. It was a really fun trip and good to be a part of.
And which game did you see live?
So it was Bayern versus Schalke, and like funnily enough, like I saw Schalke at that time, really good club, top 3 club in Germany, and they had players like Leroy Sané, like Leon Goretzka, like Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, and Alexander Nubel, who played for us after that. So and world-class Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, of course.
Yeah. So when you went there, of course, the experience was crazy. Did you interact with the fans over there or something?
Yeah. So I remember going from the place where I was staying. It was in a hostel to the stadium. We traveled by the U-Bahn, I think it's called, the metro station, the tube service. just singing Stern Desk Students, which is our anthem, club anthem, with them. That was pretty cool. And I actually met people from various places. I remember someone from Czech Republic, actually met a Pakistani fan as well. It was, at that point, you're not worried about anything. You're all supporting the same team, and that's the commonality. It's almost as if you're brothers.
But yeah, now I have a school friend with me. He's been a Bayern fan, and I remember उसको लग रहा था वो अकेला Bayern fan है. In 2006 लाम का goal देखा था, of course, a beautiful goal. And I know he's a massive fan of Schweinsteiger because we've had a lot of arguments because Schweinsteiger married my favorite tennis player Anna Ivanovic. So हम लोग का usually एक discussion होता था, is Anna Ivanovic bigger or Schweinsteiger? So I used to always pull his leg that Anna, of course, she is bigger.
Of course, Anna.
But Nilal, one question यार, हम लोग ने वो इरा देखा है, लाम. बोल सकते हैं the good boy, the good ideal student. I would like to compare him to Paolo Maldini because good boy, homegrown. Needle, do you think आज के ज़माने में with the culture around ऐसे players अभी मिलेंगे?
First of all, I like to say that you are right. 2006 is where I fell in love with Schweinsteiger, one of my favorite players, and Philipp Lahm, of course, a legend. And I would like to say that back then the players were like totally one club oriented, and I like that part of about them, and they should continue. The youngsters should learn from them, and humbleness is the key factor which is missing today. Youngsters, I understand they get paid a bomb, no complaints regarding that, but back then players like Philipp Lahm, Schweinsteiger, they were getting paid peanuts, and still they were loyal to one club. So that is what I feel, that everybody should be more humble, the players right now, and I look forward to that we produce more fans and more players, and overall football fraternity should produce better players. That's what I like to say.
Moving on, he mentioned about the Bayern anthem. So from your screenings, do you guys have any chants that you do, which is stadium specific, Bayern specific, and do you have any local chants also in Hindi or any other language?
Well, commonly we have Super Bayern. That's like the chant which we love to. Even like at the fan wall meet also, I've said this like Super Bayern, Super Bayern.
Yeah, you can go loud for the viewers.
No, it's fine, it's fine. We'll do it when a screening takes place.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
But chanting is a big part of football.
Oh yeah, with the fans, like for me, screening, when the concept was introduced to me, like screening, I was like quite excited यार कि साथ में मेरे और Bayern fans रहेंगे, and we all are gonna like enjoy that moment when the team is scoring. We all are actually shouting Super Bayern, Super Bayern. And I had felt that when I had gone for the Barca versus Bayern screening where Lewandowski was playing with Barca. So that was like a 2-0 win, or so that's when it was at Stables Andheri, and that's when it was like my first time, of course, but we enjoyed it a lot.
But by the way, me and Ajay, we've not learned Italian, but Italian abhi aati hai because of course we follow Italian clubs. So yaar, Raj, थोड़ी German आ जाती है, right? Because when you support your club, जैसे वो anthem बोल रहा था, I'm sure the fans don't know, but you do understand the chant. Of course, you go home, you Google, so you do learn the chant. So it's a big part of fan culture, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is because you want to sort of bring out the same experience that you see in Germany to sort of when we do screenings. So we sort of want to be a part of that, to experience that. And obviously, to experience that, we have to use the chants that are used in Germany. And also a bit of like thoda local chant डाल के, थोड़ा local masala डाल के, like you can make your own chants.
कुछ है आपके पास में local masale for our viewers?
So like I think back in 2023 we had both Sane and Mane. So we had sort of decided कि हम तो तेरे आशिक है सदियों पुराने, चाहे तू Sane, चाहे तू Mane.
That is lovely.
That is absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the best we have heard.
Bayern have made a generational stumble. Chintan yaar, Harry Kane आया. They could have had an all Marathi trio. Sane Mane Kane. Miss कर दिया यार.
Every season, boys, Bayern is never there in the top 3 favorites by the pundits or the fans in general. It's always the common ones, the cities, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas. But of course, Bayern always ends up coming in the semis or something. It's always tapering end of the league में आ जाती है. क्या है ऐसा? What is it, and what do you guys feel that that people are not talking about Bayern? Do you guys like, okay, fine, pitch में बात करेंगे, या do you guys get irritated कि नहीं यार, come on guys, at least give them the respect they deserve?
I mean, like we've been historically known as FC Hollywood. Like we've always been around controversies, around players or something. We've been known that. And frankly, this phase that we're enjoying, I think we should be blessed enough to sort of enjoy this phase because ये phase बहुत कम clubs के phase में आता है. Because if you ask like fans of some other clubs, like I think they would want sort of this phase where you're like spoiled with winning trophies, where you're like even एक single season में अगर तुम trophies नहीं जीतोगे, you feel bad. You feel like your club is like finished. That's what you feel, and that's what Bayern made us feel when we went trophyless at that season. So I think if you look at that side, obviously we are a bit more underappreciated as compared to other clubs like in Premier Leagues or like in your La Liga. But I feel it has more to do with PR of those clubs, of those particular leagues than we do with Bundesliga. Because if you see, Bundesliga has a very good fan culture. Like I think it is very good with just like how it is in Italy as well. It's a very good fan culture, like very, very nice. But then the league PR, it's not doing that well as compared to your Premier Leagues, your La Ligas. I think that is one aspect that we really need to work upon. And maybe something as fans, even locally, we can sort of do, we can create more awareness, we can sort of hold more screenings. That's what we can do.
And you can keep on coming back to Cappuccino Pe Charcha because this is the platform, your voice reaching out to the world.
Yeah.
And Atang, coming to you, as you said, Bayern, सब लोग, it's a very given कि Bayern तो league जीत जाएगा. This perspective must be a little irritating as a fan because boss, it's not given on a plate. Other teams are there to win and beat you, and I think Bayern being such a big force, every club wants to beat Bayern in Germany, right? So ऐसा तो नहीं है कि German league में competitiveness नहीं है. What do you have to say about that in general? Because public को तो ऐसा, I'll be very honest, the general perception, luckily because we've been Serie A fans, been watching Bayern for over the years, we know how tough it is to win a league generally. But the perception that Bayern had the league to jeet jayega. Do you kind of get cheesed off by that?
Well, I feel it's the consistency, and that's what like Bayern is very good at. I feel if other clubs in Bundesliga, if they are consistent, like how Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen were consistent, so that's the reason they won the league. So that consistency is what Bayern always has had, like in the past and right now also, and that's the reason we are winning the titles.
One question I'm going to ask you, and probably this might sting you a little bit. 6 Champions League titles. Past probably 2 decades, you've won I think 2 titles. I think that's got to hurt, right? I think I'll put it in a very straightforward way. Is Bayern probably in the last decade or so, or a decade and a half, underperformed in Champions League or not won as many titles as they deserve to be or should have won? Do you guys think that's the case? Because I'll give you my perspective. Milan has not played a Champions League in a very long time. Milan are on 7. मुझे लगा Bayern overtake कर लेगा Milan को, but it has not happened. So this is one of the reasons why probably it's underappreciated. What do you guys have to say about this in general, about Bayern's underachieving in the Champions League?
I think, yeah, I mean, you put a very, very valid question. When Real Madrid won the 3-peat Champions League, I think they obviously deserved it. Like they had good bunch of players like Ronaldo, Prime Modric, Prime Kroos, like they had everyone. But I think the Bayern 2017, 2018 team, even they could have been there on that side as well, provided like the situation was very much helpful. But I think we were sort of like, maybe we were robbed in some occasions. I won't say that we were the worst out of the both sides. We were, I think, pretty much evenly matched with all of the teams. But maybe sometimes luck favors the other team more, or maybe some other factors as well. Oh. You never know when it comes to Real Madrid.
Spicy.
Yeah, but yeah, I think in that case, I think we could have like maybe won a couple of more Champions Leagues in that case. And if we would have sort of kept that going forward, like maybe win one, then lose another in the second one, then again win in the third season, that would have maybe sort of kept us track, like made us more relevant to fans or to people in general. I think we won in 2013, then we won in 2020 when it was like peak COVID. So people like, yeah, COVID है, ऐसे जीत गए, हम तो सब सारे clubs तो बंद थे.
People don't get it. People don't get that we never had the second leg in the 2020 Champions League.
Yeah, it was one off. Yeah.
It's way more tougher.
Yeah,
and in that you have won it. So yeah, that's how it should be.
ये agenda है यार अजय.
देख तुम लोग चैंपियंस लीग ट्रॉफीज के बारे में बात करें, इसमें मेरा कोई लेना देना है नहीं. इसमें आई एम स्टेइंग आउट ऑफ इट.
आई एम आल्सो वेरी हैप्पी. एक ही चीज में आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि भाई तुम लोग 6 पे ही रह जाओ. मिलान को तो आने में टाइम लगेगा, बट द वे दिस सीजन इज गोइंग, अजय, व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
In fact, Chintan, I think before we head to the current day, थोड़ा past में चले जाते हैं. Let's go to the past. But before we move on to the next segment, guys, do not forget to leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Calcio Charcha. So, moving on to the past, Chintan, and both of you can chime in. The early 2000s, right? you had the 99 dramatic final against United. Did you guys, I'm sure you must have watched the highlights of that game. 2001, you all won again. You know, from there, तो आपको क्या लगता है, in that early 2000s, how was Bayern Munich then and how is it now? And can you go through a list of players, legends that you know you've seen in highlights, read about, that has really affected you?
I mean, if you see the sort of the 2000s era, it was full of players who were like very like they were very open to like public like not open to public criticism per se, but they were like very much open to what like how they were perceived as. Like I think one player that comes to mind is Oliver Kahn.
Oh yes.
I mean, if you mention his name, like people remember the final against Brazil or his performance in the 2001 Champions League final. Like people remember that instantly, but then they also remember his antics. Like he was a very I think would say. Very true to his emotions. Yeah, angry young man. Yeah.
But goalkeepers को ना थोड़ा eccentric होना पड़ता है.
Yeah.
You know, एक थोड़ा एक you know they want that kind of madness.
Yeah, so I think Khan was one player that I always like. Whenever I used to look at the highlights, I was like, yeah, he was very good at that time, and I think people underappreciated him how good he was at that time.
Yeah, he was definitely a monster. So this section, Chintan, is basically वो एक meme है ना कि guys can just name random players and talk about them all day. This is that section, and I want to bring in Aniket. Aniket, this was said in another podcast. Robben Ribery, they were amazing, but when it comes to like shouts of were they the best in the world, उनका कभी mention आता नहीं है. But it is a fact. Robben and Ribery era was fantastic. Do you have any other names apart from, and obviously you can speak about Ribery, but any other names that you want to throw out and kind of give them their flowers?
Yeah, so I'm a huge Manuel Neuer fan, like I'd mentioned. I think he's completely like redefined the way the goalkeeping position is played, and I have actually got a thread on Twitter about what other players and managers have had to say about him right from when he was a kid to now.
Neeraj, Schweinsteiger. ऐसा तो first of all, you remember his hair? I think उसके बाल colored थे. When he had come in, he had colored hair. But I would like to bring in another midfielder, Neeraj. Like, is he not spoken about enough? Is Michael Ballack?
Oh yes.
So Schweinsteiger and Ballack, Neeraj, तेरे को लगता है कि they're not been उसके बारे में ज़्यादा बात नहीं होती है?
Absolutely, I feel they are not given enough credit, and both should be given. And back in the days, I think all the youngsters should go back and watch videos of Schweinsteiger. Back then, we used to call him the illusionist. Like he used to be in every positions. If you see, that man has done exceptionally well. And मैं चाहता हूँ हर एक बंदा जाए और उसको देखे, and you learn a lot. And Michael Ballack, of course, legendary player. उसको भी I think so much credit मिलता नहीं है, पर I think everybody should go and watch him.
Managers, you know, एक तो है चिंतन यार. How can we not talk about Don Carlito? Ancelotti तो.
Yeah, that Milan connection with, of course, Carlito coming to Bayern. You guys must be thrilled. Probably one of the most decorated managers in the world right now. Don Carlo era. What do you guys have to say about it, and why do you think he fell short of the Champions League?
I think so. When we sort of expected, we heard the name like Ancelotti is going to come to Bayern. We were very excited because he's just come out from winning Madrid, like I think a couple of Champions Leagues. He's back to Munich now, and let's see how he does. And we were very excited to see him. But then obviously, I think we sort of heard rumors that the training methods that he was implying were not very up to date. They were a bit outdated as compared to the standards. But then obviously he's a legendary manager. We can't just go on the baseless rumors that were circulating around. And we were doing fairly well under him, like we were performing well. I think we lost against Real Madrid, I think, in the Champions League, if I'm not wrong. I think under him we did lose against Real Madrid. But I think even that was a bit it could have favored someone else, or it could have favored the other team as well, had the game gone in their favor. So I think he was a decent manager, just couldn't fit in well at that time with the players. That's what I feel.
Of course. Another manager I'm going to talk about is Pep.
Oh, yeah.
Again, a big name. Again, coming to. He had said it that you have to go to Germany once, and sang praises about Bayern. He still does actually. Again, like Ancelotti, Pep did not end up winning the Champions League. Of course, उसको बेचारे को time लगा to win it with City also. But these two managers, एक अफसोस रह गया कि they did not end up winning it and they went ahead and won the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was like Pep Guardiola. It's a very big news for me, you know, like he's coming to Bayern, like gonna manage Bayern, and a manager like that who has come direct from Barca to, you know, coming to managing Bayern Munich. It was a very big step, like especially for Bundesliga, like such manager actually coming into Bundesliga, managing Bayern Munich. So it was a very big step. But yeah, unfortunately we couldn't win under him. But yeah, then going on to winning with Man City was also quite like, अगर Bayern के साथ भी जीत गया होता तो कैसे होता? Because I have seen him, you know, the consistency which he has with City. Of course, at City he has a lot of money when it comes to buying players, but which that freedom was not there when he was at Bayern Munich. But still, if we would have won under him, we would have had our name in the Hall of Fame, I would say.
But you know, again, we spoke about these two guys, but we not spoken about is Flick, Hansi Flick, because when he was at Germany, when he was at Bayern, he was not the Flick he is now, of course, but he changed. And look at how Barca plays also. But there is a way of football he plays, little different than Pep, little more aggressive. But that Bayern was unstoppable, wasn't it?
The 2020 Bayern was unstoppable, and especially under Flick, it was like a proper force. You know, like Lewandowski scoring goals. There's like Thomas Müller, Gnabry. Gnabry in that season was quite good. You know, 2020 Bayern Munich, Gnabry was totally different. And of course, we won't forget the 8-2 win against Barcelona. But I mean,
you won't forget, and Barca fans को भूलने भी नहीं.
भूलने मत
I mean,
देना.
I personally feel that Barca fans, like, before 2020, Barca fans used to like talk a lot, like, you know, Bayern, Barca, two big clubs. But when 8-2 took place, that was a time when Bayern fans had a bit of an upper hand. You know, Bayern fans had like to Barca fans. So yeah.
भाई तुमने 2-3 क्लब्स को काफी दुख दर्द पीड़ा दिए. तो आई टॉक अबाउट आर्सेनल. अनफॉर्चुनेट लॉस अभी हुआ, बट आर्सेनल को दुख दर्द पीड़ा दिए बिकॉज आई हैव आर्सेनल फैंस, एंड दूसरा ऑफ कोर्स बारसा. आई थिंक दोस टू टीम्स. बट यू नो, हम लोग लेजेंडरी मैनेजर्स की बात करें, आर वी फॉरगेटिंग समवन अजय?
Are you talking about Ottoman Hitzfeld?
नो यार, अगेन
Trapattoni बोल दिया, Hitzfeld बोल दिया, और कौन है?
Do you guys think another manager जो
I think we missed out on one of my most favorite managers, Mr. Jupp Heynckes.
Ah, there you
the
go.
legend himself.
There you go.
because what I feel, for me, he is Bayern, because that association with Bayern, that him on the touchline, the craziness, he was quite crazy. So that, tell us more about him, please. That Bayern, please tell us more about him. He's not, by the way, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, again, he's not spoken about enough. Just like your club, he's not spoken. So please, I want you guys to take this stage and talk about him.
I mean, you see Jupp Heynckes as an individual, as a coach. He's been phenomenal over the years. He's trained at Real Madrid. He's trained Bayern. He's trained at the two biggest clubs. Yeah, we can say that. I think bearing AC Milan, yeah, he has. So the sort of experience that he brought in that Bayern team was very immense, because not only was he a very he supported the players, like he did support the players, but also he was very furious about his tactics. Like he wanted to get his tactics in. He was a very tactical man, but at the same time, like he did not get a lot of media praise for what he did. Yeah. And I think he's been that sort of someone who's always used to bail a sort of difficult situations. I think even when when Ancelotti was sacked, I think in 2017, 2018, they sort of brought him back again from retirement, and he decided, like the gentleman he is, he decided, you know what, I'm going to come back. Just another season, yeah, for my club I'll do it. And that's the love he has for Bayern.
But आप लोग को आपके राइवल्स कौन लगते हैं? Is it Dortmund? Is it someone else? Historically, Bayern के राइवल्स कौन रह चुके हैं, and who are the current rivals at this point of time?
I mean, historically, if you see, then 1860 is the biggest rival. Like,
of course, local club.
Locally, like obviously we don't see them now because they don't play in the Bundesliga. Yeah. But when they used to play, obviously they were the biggest rival, and they still are the biggest rivals. But I think on a global stage, Dortmund has emerged as the bigger rival for their classical derby. You can say that, but I think people always think that, you know, since we always tend to beat Dortmund, they think like, yeah, this league is done. This league is finished because ये कोई Bayern को हरा सकता नहीं है. Wherein if you watch the Bundesliga, actually, we struggle with teams like Union Berlin, and especially the bogey team like Mönchengladbach. We lose. Every time we play against them, we feel like अभी हारने वाले.
Especially even, at home.
Yeah, even at home.
And you spoke about local rivals. Champions League में, like, you know, who do you consider your biggest rivals, or a team which I don't want to face them right now, probably semi-finals, finals chalega. Any particular
in the
team?
current season itself?
Not generally, over historically.
I feel Real Madrid.
We want to talk about modern legends, as Aniket spoke about Ribery and Robin. I'm going to talk about something controversial. Ballon d'Or. Has to be, yaar. Come on, has to be.
Has to be.
Cappuccino पे चर्चा कर रहे, तो ये चर्चा करना पड़ेगा. Phenomenal season Ribery का था that season. it's useless to say. Do you guys think he deserved to win the Ballon d'Or? That
I mean, the way he had played, like the sort of tournaments that he had played in, obviously he deserved to, since it was a sort of an ongoing theme wherein the team that you had won the UCL, one of the star players used to win the Ballon d'Or. That had the
Yes.
team basically. But in that season, we sort of expected, either of Ribery or Robin should have won that tournament, or should have won the Ballon d'Or basically. But then it went to someone else, and obviously, what happened later on, the controversy and everything surrounded it. But I think one of the Bayern players should have won it basically. That's what I think. And even like you were talking about the Ribery thing, I think in the going forward, like going just few years forward, when it came to Lewandowski again, I think he should have won it like fair and square.
but दिया ही नहीं वो team.
Yeah, how can you? Yes.
साल दिया ही नहीं.
Aniket, I'm coming to you. Okay, Ballon d'Or, and this season, Harry Kane has been in sensational form.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that he is an early shout for a Ballon d'Or this season?
Definitely. I'm completely in agreement with Athang actually, because it is driven partly based on what you're doing on the field. It's obviously partly driven on what your team has won, but a lot of it is to do with your PR. If you play for a good club, if there's a mahal that is generated around you, it's easier to win that. I think currently the three outstanding players in the world are Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, and Harry Kane. So I think, yes, Kane does have a good chance, but I think for him to win a Ballon d'Or, either Bayern has to win a Champions League or England needs to win the World Cup this year. That's the only way he stands a chance this year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sitting at home, आप विराजमान हो जाइए आराम से, क्योंकि हम लोग build करने वाला है an all-time best Bayern 11. Guys, include the players that you have watched. All right, so let's get on with it. Raj, Atang, and even Aniket, you can contribute in as well. You can chime in as well. But you have to agree. All right. So, सबसे पहले, what is the formation that you guys are looking at?
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. All right. So let's start at the back. I think it's Neuer. Like that's a unanimous decision. Neuer as the keeper. Right. Talk us through your defenders. 4 defender कौन रहेंगे?
I think right back has to be our captain Philipp Lahm, of course.
Fair.
He has to be there. And I think in the centre back pairing, I think Boateng. I think he has to be. Although looking at his personal antics aside,
Yeah.
he's been a phenomenal player and a very consistent player as well, both for Germany and for Bayern.
We are a bit confused when it comes to centre back and left back, because we want to fit in Alaba as well as Davis, because Davis' speed and the way he plays for Bayern Munich. But yeah, we can go with second centre back as Alaba, and left back we can go with Davis.
Davies, yeah, we can do that, yeah.
The two midfielders. Who do you all pick?
Kimmich has to be one of them. Second one, I feel we should. Swines.
Boy, I think यार वो already.
And going ahead,
I think if we look at the Cam role, I think there's no question
at all.
about Muller.
It's Müller.
It's
Thomas
Müller. Yeah, and then
Right wing and left wing. So we should go with right wing. Right wing.
I think right wing Robin.
Arjen Robin.
Also picks itself.
हाँ,
And
I
left
think
wing
it's-
Ribery.
हम लोग choose कर लेते हो तुम लोग के लिए. That Robin को नहीं डालोगे तो problem हो जाएगा.
Obviously, we
So
have.
you're going with Robin,
And Ribery.
Ribery, and बीच में Muller.
Müller.
Yeah.
Now the striker.
Yeah. That's where things get
Harry
tricky.
Kane को नहीं लोगे तो. Go ahead, striker.
Striker.
For me, I think all but the bias aside, I think I'll go with based on current form. I think I'll go with Harry Kane.
Yeah. Even I'll go with Harry Kane.
I'll agree with them. Harry Kane.
Yeah, it's Lewandowski for me, but I'm completely fine with Harry Kane. That's completely fine.
Guys, आप लोग comments पे लिखिए हैरी केन और लेवेंडोस्की. आप लोग के विचार. We want to know your thoughts. Or look at Tony. I mean, for Calcio fans.
We can also have Mandzukic in.
Mandzukic as well.
Great guy. Now the tough question. Who is managing this team?
Louis Van
Personally, I'd
Gaal.
go for Heinkes.
Yeah? Louis Van Gaal?
No, he's agreeing with Heinkes.
I guess.
Yeah, same. I think he's just the most balanced manager out there. Mix of man management and tactics. I think I'd go Hankes. Although my honorable mention will be Pep, honestly.
Now that we talk about tactics, just before we end this, shed some light on Vincent Kompany and how he plays his football. Because आज एक सब लोग बात कर रहे हैं, Vincent Kompany's Bayern is playing amazing, attacking football. Harry Kane drops deep, जैसे आप बता रहे थे, you know. Lemar ka runs, you know, that when he makes those runs, of course, all these things are taught and, you know, it's drilled in them. So, Vincent Kompany ऐसा क्या कर रहा है? Just in some words, guys, explain how Vincent Kompany is molding this Bayern team.
Well, I feel that Vincent Kompany, of course, he has come under the influence of Pep Guardiola, And taking over Bayern, everybody had questioned Bayern, you know. Like, how can you take a manager who has just got relegated with Burnley and, you know, you're taking him up and he's so young. And, I mean, he doesn't have that much of record of his own to become manager of a club like Bayern Munich. So when he came in, everybody was like questioning, but now no one has an answer to it because we have seen the creativity level which he produces with Bayern Munich, the testing, having Konrad Laimer making those runs, Harry Kane, you know, dropping back, and then Lennart Kahl. Lennart Kahl is the player who has actually come up, you know, on top under him. So that's why I gotta respect Vincent Kompany and his and the way he has managed Bayern till now.
I mean, so like he mentioned, like the way Vincent Kompany has sort of made up his he has basically been a center back himself, and sort of also he has also played in Bundesliga, by the way. I think he had played for Hamburg. Yeah, he played for Hamburg. So I think that sort of player coach mindset is there, and you can clearly see it the way he's playing. Like he is using like this man marking. I think in the recent games, the recent Champions League games, you see
especially.
Yeah, he was using the man marking system so well, and it was really working out well. Even though we were sort of maintaining a high line, but we were also man marking all the rest, so that even if we leave some space behind, then we'll have another player to try to cover it. So these are some of the tactics that he's been trying to employ really well. Although I would say that we sort of did not manage it well against Arsenal because they were a bit. I would say they were a bit above our pay grade at that particular moment, because the way he's adapting his tactics, I think it won't be long until we start singing his names again.
And I personally feel that you ask anyone, they would say this, that Bayern is a bit different under Kompany and they're way more attacking and stronger, with Harry Kane of course in the front.
With that, दोस्तों, we have come to the end of the episode. ये एक ही शो है पूरे भारत में जहाँ पे हम टैक्टिक्स बात करते हैं. इतने डीप डाइव करके आराम से बैठ के we just need a proper tactical board, Chintan, and then we're set for life, because tactics, Cappuccino, Charcha, legends, past, present, I think we managed to cover a lot of things with these boys who've been supporting Bayern Munich for all their lives.
Yeah, first of all, great club, and again we have fans. सब लोग बोलते हैं किधर है Bayern fans, इधर है Bayern fans.
यहाँ है.
They are loud and they are proud. So guys, we want to hear more from you guys. We would encourage you guys to do more, because Bayern needs representation. Bayern needs proper representation, and team like Bayern eyeballs होती है तो क्या होगा? People will realize that जो उनके certain norms set हो गए हैं against Bayern कि ये तो लीग जी जाते हैं, that needs to be changed.
break the myths, मतलब जितने भी rumors है, gossip है, सबको मिटा दो. And यही मंच है. Cappuccino Pe Charcha is that platform where you all, I'm so happy that you all came and we had a fun chat. Time just flew by, right? So दोस्तों, इसी के साथ में ये बहुत ही बेहतरीन एपिसोड आ गया है अपने फिनाले पे. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ऑल द लव एंड सपोर्ट. आई नो यू गाइज हैव बीन कमेंटिंग, लाइकिंग ऑल द प्रीवियस एपिसोड्स, सो कंटिन्यू डूइंग दैट with the Bayern episode as well. Until next time, I'm Ajay Menon. This is Chintan. You are on Cappuccino Pe Charcha. Like, share and subscribe to Cappuccino Pe Charcha. Right, boys? Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.